lump. Those off to the side.
Guten Morgen. Day 3. Out here in the heart. Oh, the park. Adam is tending to our hungry man's frittata, which
we're each getting 3 portions each this morning.
Yeah, hey,
this is a 6-person frittata.
There's also
I only know one recipe. It's a 6-person frittata. I can't reduce it.
I can't cook less. Yeah, so whoo, look at that. That's a big bag of ham.
Yikes.
Yeah,
that's all going in. Pre-cubed.
Yeah, very nicely done. Oh man,
the potatoes are par baked. But I did have to slice them up this morning. But the ham is pre-cubed and froze. There actually isn't onions in here, which is kind of a travesty. But it's a variety of bell peppers and some stewed tomato.
And no dill.
No dill. I couldn't find fresh dill in town before the trip. So
yeah, that is a shame.
There's no like jalapenos. There's nothing really spicy about this one.
Oh, we've got the Tabasco.
We do have Tabasco packets. So yeah, I just cut up the peppers and onions usually, and then put them in a bag and freeze them before the trip. So they were pretty thawed this morning, obviously, but just makes everything a lot easier. And then, of course, the remnants of our eggs and an Nalgene.
Yeah, still got some whole yolks in there.
Still got some. The yolks always hold together. You get this frothy from the shaking of the egg whites.
Yes.
But that'll go in later, and we did have some butter. And we still have cheese and some cilantro we can put on top. No dill, but we do have cilantro.
Yes. So, day 3. We've got overcast skies, kind of unexpectedly overcast. We've kind of been getting baked, though, a little bit the last 2 days, so I think we're both fine with a little bit of a reprieve from that kind of beating sun. Especially when that wind died down yesterday afternoon. It was just kind of panting like a dog. We weren't panting like dogs, but, you know.
It was hot.
It was hot.
I was out there just kind of...
Got a little red in the face.
Yeah.
I don't know if I did or not, but you got a little side...
I feel like my crappy little child's life vest has been rubbing me right here. I gotta make some adjustments or just not wear it today.
Yeah. Well, you gotta be safe, though. Gotta be safe.
All right, I'll wear it.
All right. So, do we have a little bit of time to maybe do our campsite review?
Yeah, this is going to take a bit here, so we can go ahead and get to the campsite review.
So, I think we should start with this, and I like the fact that we have the video.
The downgrades?
So we can show you...
You want to walk around?
What is so frustrating about getting into a beautiful campsite like this. And if you're just listening, you know, you've seen this. It's the random and pointless hacking of cedar trees or any trees in general. And that's one of the things that I think is the best about this site is you have access to like this big open shelf down on the lake, but then the main site is like up in this beautiful grove of cedars.
There are a lot of big beefy cedars in here. I got my hammock set last night on 2 jumbo cedars. That's always a treat. And I don't know about anybody else, but I usually do give my hammock trees a gentle kiss when I'm putting the straps on.
Yeah, that's all you should do.
That's the only thing you should ever do to a cedar of that magnitude.
But yeah, I mean, we've got, I think, just about every one, and I don't know what the thinking is.
Every one of them. There's at least one little hatchet mark.
Just bored? Or what? Like, these ones are really bad. I mean, they're not, like, dead or anything, but it's just kind of a pointless scar to put on a tree. And then there's the obvious, like, I mean, these are, I mean, yes, pointless and dumb, but at the same time, like, almost impressive. Like, this is a, like, I don't know, how big a round of a tree is that, you think? Just a flush stump.
It's a 12-inch, 13-inch diameter stump.
Yeah, it's like at least a foot diameter. And it's just flushly cut. It almost looks like it was like a Forest Service thing.
And maybe it was something for one of his benches. I don't know.
But I mean, and then there's this one. That one's just clearly hacked by Bobby and his Uncle Rex. And then there's
this thing.
Yeah, and then there's the 4 feet up cut tree. Like, that's just, I mean, it's the same width. If you're gonna cut down a tree, at least cut it down at the base. But I mean,
Right in camp.
don't cut trees. Like, geez. But besides that, all right, rant over.
Well, yeah, and so we were talking, you know, these are things that are, in our minds, a minor deduction when you're giving out a grade. However, it's not the site's fault.
No.
We're trying to grade the site, not the behavior of the idiots who were camped here before.
Right.
But it's hard not to take it into consideration when you're sitting here making breakfast, looking around at all these hack marks.
Right.
I don't know, bozos be bozoing.
I know, and it's like we feel like we're out in the middle here, and we kind of said it before we started recording, like, I don't think you would see this up on that campsite on ledge.
No.
But this is just accessible enough, I guess, by people who just don't care, or I don't know what it is.
You know, in July, you got a big group of bored teens, and you got a week.
Yeah.
You can get out here, no problem.
Right.
It's not a strenuous journey from the south or from the west.
No.
You know, if you don't have to go through the VV little chain.
Right.
It's not that hard to get here. It just takes more time, which, you know, if you got a week-long trip or a 10-day trip in summer, sure, you can make it happen. The other thing we noted, there's a little red squirrel this morning, like, clearly been fed.
Oh, yeah. He's
Just
been hounding us.
right in camp. And the other thing we did find was down by the lake shore. We're sitting down for our afternoon wine yesterday, and I go, what is that? Eric goes over there. It's like a shredded pair of like the cheapest kind of boxer briefs money can buy.
It's gross.
Yeah, everything about that statement, I almost just puked having to say it out loud.
Yeah.
So that also is another, like, litter deduction.
Right.
But again, not the site's fault. So, you know, these are just the kinds of things that, you know, makes a difference between an A and an A plus, maybe.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of hard to say, well, you know, this is just the results of people versus, you know, the campsite itself. The layout and the infrastructure here is still solid. So while you're checking in on the frittata there, maybe we'll get into the grade of the fire grate.
Perfect.
I've kind of mentioned it already. I like the double aspect of having the out in the open availability to get some of that sun or do some fishing if you want. But then you've got this, like, nicely surrounded by majestic cedars, cool, shady kind of grove. And the fire grate is right in the middle of it. And that was, you know, one thing you could say about the site we were at yesterday on Little Sag is if you're there, like, all day, we had the wind blowing, so we didn't really feel it. But in the summer, there was not much for shade or, like, you know, a respite from that beating sun. So you could kind of get blasted in that site, I bet.
Yeah, like, we were set up out on the point in our chairs yesterday enjoying the afternoon sun, but then, yeah, you could just come back here and get in the shade. It's beautiful, like, juxtaposition.
Yeah.
It gives you every range you would be looking for.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
the fire grate itself is an old style.
ooh, wide gauge.
Wide gauge, we were talking last night. I assume that means it's older.
I think so.
I think these are the rare wide gauge old ones, but it's in really good shape.
Yeah, it is in good shape, and it's kind of actually this little, I don't know, sometimes the camp furniture that people build is, like, not really even worth a dang, but this is a nice little corral, a nice little squared off corral.
Yeah, we were able to fit both our chairs in here. You know,
Yeah.
if we both had the jumbo deluxe chair, maybe not.
A little tight, but then it's also got a nice
cozy.
backing of rock for kind of setting things. And it wasn't like ridiculously overstuffed with old logs and ash, which again is just a person thing. But I'll give this a solid A fire grate area. It's nice and flat, good moving around, and then just the feeling.
realm that you're in here. I mean, it feels like you're amongst a bunch of old wise friends
Yeah,
who have been hacked.
who have
hacked
been
at
slightly hacked and
by
mangled.
Bobby Bozo.
Yeah. Well,
So
let's. I
that's
think
an A. All right.
yes, A. Let's take a walk down to the lanai, the waterfront area / landing, which is immaculate, smooth on all sides. You've got multiple options for landing a canoe. Great places for hanging the Zissou life jacket.
That's nice and dried and aired out from my stench.
So yeah, this is the first landing that we came upon right here, but this whole rocky slab continues around this entire site. So you've got, the sky's the limit out here on this waterfront area, and then you've even got a nice little grassy knoll up here if the rocks get too hot. And then yesterday, last night, and a little bit this morning, we were fishing, and we can tell, like, if we would have brought leeches and slip bobbers, we'd probably have about 24 walleyes on.
Yeah,
the
it just
stringer.
drops off nice off here, and the way the wind was just kind of blowing away yesterday, you know, the bobbers would have been well behaved. We could have been sitting down there in our lawn chairs just watching the show.
Yep.
But yeah, we didn't really feel like hauling in a bunch of leeches just for that opportunity. We were happy to try our luck with the Rapalas, and Eric did manage to get a pretty nice pike.
Oh yeah, last
21
night.
and 22-inch pike. You have some video, I believe, of that
I
landing.
do. I have no idea how it turned out. If it's decent, I'll throw it in the show notes. You can watch me landing a 2-foot-long pike in the beautiful sunlight in the afternoon.
Yeah, very healthy looking, fat little pike.
Yeah.
It was nice.
It was nice to feel some weight on a fishing rod
Yeah,
for
so
the first time in like a year.
Got a fish, so that's nice. Not the walleye we were looking for, but still.
But yeah, you could also tell it would be an amazing jumping off point for some swimming.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the recreation on the waterfront and the landing here boosts the overall grade. I think this is back-to-back A's. The landing for canoes is, you've got multiple options. Whether you want more of a ledge, less of a ledge, if you're a wet footer or a dry footer, options abound on the island on Adams.
Yeah,
I'm
and
going solid A overall.
on the landing and overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's any point in delaying giving out the A. It's obviously an A site.
Yep.
Could be an A plus. Like had I caught a walleye this morning on my 5 casts, I usually like to go out in the morning and take 5 casts.
Yeah.
So if we'd plucked a walleye out of here, maybe that bumps it up. Or if we didn't find the shredded underwear, maybe that bumps it up. But
Right.
overall, it's a beautiful site, and we don't want to dwell on the negatives. Just counting it in my head, I believe this is Adams 5 out of 7.
Yes, because you've got those ones down
The Smite Wing.
Smite Wing, yes.
Smite Wing 1 and 2 in the Smite Wing. Then there's 2 more over here on the western shore. We did visit one yesterday, and it has a very funny, like,
Oh yeah.
perfectly square rock with the fire grate sitting on it, and doesn't look like it's been camped at in 10 years.
Yeah. I wouldn't have believed the way you were describing that unless you would have shown me that picture, because you were the only one that got out. It looks
Yeah.
like it was like somebody poured a slab of cement.
Yeah, it's very funny. So then, yeah, we get over here. This is the 5th site according to our system on the island, and we'll give it an A.
Back-to-back A's.
So did we talk about the tent padding? I mean, there's plenty of open spots.
Oh yeah, tent
tent pads
forever, and
maybe more.
hammocks forever.
Hammocks and tent pads unlimited.
Yes.
So that's through the roof grade on A+ for sleeping accommodations. And then lastly, I think we should mention the latrine, which
you
is,
have seen it, I have not.
yeah, at this point it's been unused, but I did walk back that way just looking for birch bark and kind of poking around yesterday. And it has a lid.
A
So-
famous lidded latrine.
A lidded latrine, which is a rare one too. So
Yeah.
you got an old style fire grate and a lidded latrine.
Very nice.
With everything else going for this thing, it's an easy A.
Yeah.
It's not even a question.
All right.
So
Stamping it.
yeah, let's do it. It's an A.
Hey.
That's tumble stamped.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the campsite review. We're gonna go make sure our ham scramble is not getting scorched. And for those of you watching, you get to see the underwear on the way on the ground there. And we've got a little bit of packing up, and we're ambitious in our destination, hopeful today. We're kind of making a little bit of an on-the-fly game changer decision. At the very least, we're trying to swing back around up to Little Sag, and then from there we were kind of talking, we really don't want to do that Tuscarora portage again, so
I've
I
done
think-
that one like 5 times in the last year and a half. I feel like it's
yeah.
time for a different route.
So we want to kind of maybe do a figure 8 route home, where we kind of pivot from Little Sag and go up to Gaba Michigami and kind of take the little lakes through like Peter and some of those smaller ones down in through Brant home. So Best case scenario, we end up on Gabby tonight. If our arms fall off, Makwa, and I would still be happy with even a like west end of Little Sag. And the eggs are in.
That's how you plop them.
They've been plopped. The eggs now need some tending, and we will check back in with you. How you feeling? 3 days in, you're looking good still. You don't got that camp face on yet.
No, I feel good, and I said yesterday even I felt like we were on day 3, and now I feel like we're on day 4 or 5 of this trip, just at how far we've gone, and the long days, and staying up till midnight, and then the sun's back up super early. So
oh yeah, we had some amazing stars.
Anybody who's done longer paddling trips, you know, I feel like that's day 3 is usually when you wake up with a little bit more of a spring in your step. So we're gonna try and squash that down with like 15 portages today. Get ourselves nice and tired again for tonight's dinner. So yeah, I feel good. Everything's systems go. The toe is not that bad. My feet stayed warm last night with a water bottle in the hammock.
Yes.
So overall, I feel really good, and I'm ready for a big day.
All systems go. Yip, yip, yip. Bye.